What's going on, guys? It's your boy GFT, and we're doing the third edition of the recap show where we look at the UFC event immediately after we give you the results and exactly what happened. So today, we're going to start with the prelim, but then we're going to get to the main card of the fight. So we're going to start with Randa Marcos, the Canadian, that's why I'm mentioning her, Canadian at heart, defeats Angela Hill by a submission, 4:24 of round number 1, securing the win for Canada. She will appear on the May 4th Ottawa card most likely, and I'll be there live, so you know that had to hype me up. But without further ado, let's get to the main card, and let's talk about the future, Maycee Barber. Maycee Barber came out in the first round, got rocked, and JJ Aldrich put the pressure on Maycee Barber, one of the ones that is a big superstar right now who wants to be the youngest champion ever. She wants to be the youngest champion over John Jones, who won it at 23 years old. Maycee Barber came in the second round hard, and she defeated Aldrich by TKO 3 minutes and 1 second in round number 2, and she showed that Barber has the power to be able to knock you out at any time, even when she's facing adversity like she was in the Aldrich fight. That moves us onto a couple unanimous decisions in a row. We have Luis Pena, other known as Violent Bob Ross, who defeats Steven Peterson via unanimous decision. He really dominated the fight on the feet, took him down, and was able to dominate him there too. It was 30-27 times 3. All the judges agreed. Then we had Deiveson Figueiredo versus Jussier Formiga. Sorry if I screwed that up to any Brazilian fans out there, but Formiga, the number 1 ranked flyweight in the division, was able to defeat the 15-0 Figueiredo, who was riding 15 straight wins. He was 15-0 going into this fight. He really wanted to make an impact on this fight card, and the flyweights really need to start pulling out some big fights to be able to keep their position in the UFC ranking. Right now, they're kind of at that patch where their champion might move up to bantamweight, so you don't know about the security and the safety of that division going forward. But nonetheless, Formiga gets a win over a game and rookie sensation, basically, in Figueiredo by unanimous decision. Again, it was a 30-27 on one judge's scorecard, and then a 29-28 on 2 others. Then we get another Canadian, John Makdessi, pulling out another win, 30-27 on 2 judges' scorecards, and 29-28 over a pretty game Jesus Pinedo. Pinedo was a great striker, but wasn't pulling the trigger on a lot of his strikes until the later rounds of the fights. And nonetheless, Makdessi was able to keep control for most of the fight, push forward for most of the fight, and he was able to drag it to decision without going to sleep or without getting rocked. So in the end, Makdessi gets the big W. Then we get into the co-main event. The co-main event, which had some beef going into it. Justin Willis at the weigh-ins was calling out Curtis Blaydes, his father. His father was talking shit about Justin Willis. Justin Willis is big for the heavyweight division, and that's pretty crazy, being that heavy of a weight class. He's got a big gut on him. But nonetheless, Curtis Blaydes was able to out-wrestle him to a pretty unanimous decision. Like, this was one of the more crazy decisions of the night. One of the judges' scorecards even read 30-25, and then I think it's going to become famous. In a famous post-fight interview, Curtis Blaydes calls out Big Titty Justin Willis and says go back to work on his wrestling, which was a beautiful call-out, which was a beautiful post-fight presser for a guy he came into beef with, and pulls off the unanimous decision with all the judges' scorecards giving him at least 3 rounds. And then we get to the biggest KO. The KO of the night. Goddamn, Anthony Pettis in the second round lands a Superman punch. In the dying seconds of round number 2 at 4:55 declared the knockout. Anthony Pettis with a brutal finish of Stephen Thompson. During the first round, it was a game of Anthony Pettis attacking Stephen Thompson's legs inside and outside with leg kicks from all directions, and Thompson was brutalizing him with straight jabs and quick kicks. But nonetheless, the ending of the fight speaks for itself. Anthony Pettis, with the successful move to 170, secures another win in his 3rd weight class. This is his 3rd weight class that he's gotten a win. It's a crazy career, and we got to see what's next for Pettis. Pettis ends up calling out the winner of Barbosa Gaethje, or getting the rematch with RDA in which he lost his belt. We're going to get to see where we go from there, but that wraps up UFC Fight Night Nashville. We will come back as soon as possible with my reaction video, probably tomorrow, mid-afternoon tonight, and we'll just talk about everything else that happened with more opinionated views. If you guys enjoyed, remember to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. We bring it to you before anybody else with the best commentary in the game. That's JFT on YouTube. Remember the name, and peace.